afternoon to the respected dignitaries and my fellow students as we gather here today to celebrate women's participation in the freedom struggle of India on the auspicious occasion of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, commemorating 75 years of India's independence, a program organized by the Center for Women's Studies in collaboration with Department of History and Department of Sociology, Pondicherry University. I, Paurnami, MA Second Year Student Women's Studies, welcome you all to celebrate this grand occasion with us. I request Professor G. Chandrika to kindly deliver the welcome address.
A very good afternoon to one and all. Respected Vice Chancellor Sir, respected Dr. Vanaja Vaidyanathan, our respected Dean Professor Mohanty, my head of the department Professor Chandramouli, head of the Department of Sociology Professor Aruna. I have a very great pleasure in standing before you today for this occasion when we are celebrating the completion of the 75 years of independence. Like the three colors of the flag that have united together to form this three departments, Department of History, Sociology and Women's Studies, have joined together under the leadership of our beloved Vice Chancellor to celebrate the completion of the 75 years of independence. And as you all know, we have the very personality of our Vice Chancellor, a tall figure, not only physically, but professionally, scientist of international repute. He has specialized in corrosion science and he has won many international awards, visited foreign universities, and he is here today. It is our fortune. And spiritually also, he is a very tall personality, a true disciple of Sant Guru Nanak Ji. He respects women of his household. He talks about his wife, his sister in a very respectful manner, and he is a person who respects women, and I have great pleasure in welcoming him on behalf of you and also on behalf of the Department of Sociology, History and also Center for Women's Studies. I welcome you for this gathering, sir. History gives us a lot of information about the freedom struggle and the sacrifices humans have made so that we can live in a free India. Sociology tells us a lot about the development that India has achieved for the last 75 years. And Center for Women's Studies tells us about the role and contribution of women. So we have chosen for this particular occasion, celebration of the participation of women. And therefore, I have great pleasure in welcoming the well-known figure in Pondicherry, Rotarian Dr. Vanaja Vaidyanathan, who is also the founder member of the Jyoti Eye Clinic, and she has won several awards for her service to society. She has performed nearly 7 lakhs operations so far, surgeries, of them 3 lakhs free. And in spite of her busy schedule, and she also has a family commitment arranging for her daughter's wedding, she was so pleasant enough to be with us today as the chief guest of this occasion. So on your behalf and on behalf of the Center for Women's Studies, Department of Sociology and History, I have great pleasure in welcoming her today for this function. I also welcome Professor Mohanty, our Dean, who is always there, very supportive of all these efforts, and also Professor Chandramouli sir in the Department of History. We have been celebrating the Independence Day for a long tradition of celebrating it. Last time also, in spite of COVID, we celebrated online, and our students here participated in a wonderful manner, singing patriotic songs. So I welcome all the participants today here for this event. And on 10th, 11th and 12th of August, we conducted competitions, quiz competition, essay writing, and also other competitions. More than 100 students came forward to participate in these competitions, and the prizes are to be distributed today. Poster competitions, and you can see some of the posters. that came as entry to this competition. And all these posters, we had some topics like the role of women in the salt satyagraha, role of women in the freedom movement was the quiz program. The quiz master is here, Dr. Subhashri, I welcome her. And we had a preliminary round, and after which we had 6 teams, and students participated with a lot of enthusiasm, and we realized that we still have to go a long way to understand about the role of women in our freedom movement. And with that few words, once again, I welcome all of you for this event. Thank you so much.
Now I request Professor B.B. Mohanty, our beloved Dean, to kindly deliver the felicitation address.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Respected Vice Chancellor, Professor Gurmeet Singh, the keynote speaker, Dr. Vaidyanathan, Professor Chandrika, the Dean, School of Tamil Language and Literature, Head of the Department of Sociology, Professor Aruna, Head of the Department of History, Professor Chandramouli, my colleagues from our school and other schools of our university, research scholars, students, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I am thankful to Professor Chandrika and Professor Aruna for taking all the initiatives and organizing this kind of event and inviting me to this occasion. I must tell you that for the last couple of days, on the occasion of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, 75 years of independence, our school has been organizing a series of programs and events, and this particular event is another addition in the series. As I understand, today's program is the closing program for the series of events which was organized in the mid of this month. And this event is particularly very special for all of us because it is on a kind of important theme that celebrating women's participation, and it is special because all other programs we have been talking about achievements of our independence and the development experience of India, but this special program here we are celebrating the achievements and the contributions of women. And you know, our university has organized, other departments and other schools, they have also organized many programs. And I must tell you, our Vice Chancellor has been encouraging and insisting that we should organize a lot of mega and serious academic programs involving persons of eminence from different parts of the country and the globe. And he has been working tirelessly to take this university to a kind of new height. Very recently, to secure special attention of the Government of India toward the development of Pondicherry University, he met the President of India, Vice President of India, and many union ministers. So we are actually proud of his leadership. And the occasion of this event, and particularly on the theme of this seminar, I have nothing special to offer, but I must tell you that this is a kind of event where we have to remind all of us the contributions and the achievements which are made by the women. And I always feel that a nation's progress can be assessed or judged by the kind of treatment it gives to women. And the level of participation of women in development process is an indicator of itself of a country's development. And in India, we have, for the last 75 years, we have come a kind of long way by making women as a partner of development. And since the inception of planned development the Government of India and many state governments also, we have undertaken several legislative as well as executive measures for the empowerment of women and to enhance their participation in development activities and the development process of the nation. And we have seen also a good number of successful women now in almost in each domain of development sector, be it health, education, sports, or even civil aviation, name any sector, and we see a good number of successful women. Now many successful women are also sitting here. So there are we have number of instances, and the point actually I want to tell you that they have kind of a very significant contribution, and the estimates suggest that 18% of GDP comes from women, and you know the contribution the share of their workforce, it is the official estimate says around 30%, which is actually it is correct, including formal and informal, but the GDP estimate is not correct because it takes into account only the recognized and paid services. Unpaid services are not recorded. The women, as we understand also, that they work very sincerely and they are the silent workers. Hardly they make any noise. Whenever any reports on dishonesty, malpractice, violence, or any other kind of these things you come, rarely women are involved. And when we find some women, the inspiration comes from men only. So this is a kind of a situation. So point is that their contribution is very significant, and the freedom struggle moment which we had, it would not have been the same without their contribution. They have tremendously contributed to the development process, and they form the bedrock of our economy and society and all kinds of prosperity, and they are actually the integral part of our development process. And I'm sure this particular program will give you more kind of insights. We have a kind of distinguished keynote speaker. She will definitely, I'm sure she will enlighten us on various aspects of women participation in different domains of development process. So I have nothing much to add. I will not waste much time. Thank you so much, and I wish this event a kind of a grand success. Thank you, everybody.
So I request Professor N. Chandramouli, Head of the Department of History, for the felicitation address.
Esteemed Vice Chancellor, Professor Chandrika, Professor Aruna, Professor Mohanty, distinguished colleagues from other departments, and distinguished keynote speaker, Dr. Vanaja, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen. So this is a very memorable occasion after the pandemic. All of you are back to the campus and enjoying the campus life. And when I look at the audience, this is again a fitting tribute for the occasion, because 50% of the audience here are from the feminine gender, and gender equality is part of the Pondicherry University culture right from the beginning. And the Department of History is a girl-child department. I used to tell my students. I have two daughters. Professor Chandrika has two daughters. Professor Venugopal Reddy have two daughters. Professor Rajan had two daughters. So this is a girl-child department. So that is why we focus more on gender equality. And gender equality is part of the Indian tradition, let me tell you. That is nothing new, nothing to be taught from outside. Although the gender studies in historical research is a recent phenomenon, gender equality is a part of the Indian tradition. Stri Dhana, which we say, that is almost, it is part of our culture. Even the husband cannot have a say in what the woman will be having. And during the India's freedom struggle, the Atmanirbhar Bharat about which we are talking today is actually made into a reality by the women folk. So when the Khadi movement was taken up, it was the women who stood in the forefront of that Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India, and made it into a grand success. So when Mahatma Gandhi gave a clarion call for the Khadi movement, it was one woman who took up the gauntlet And while I was going through the historical documents, Ganga Ben Majumdar from Gujarat, she was the woman who started the Khadi movement in Gujarat, standing beside Mahatma Gandhi. And I was told that in 1930 itself, as many as 1 lakh women were provided employment in this Khadi movement, which shows that in the freedom movement, it was the women who participated very actively. And although we always talk about the unsung heroes, it should be the unsung heroines in the freedom movement about which this particular event, the participation of women in the India's freedom struggle, is all about. And I thank the organizers for planning this event in such a manner and giving me an opportunity to be with you today's afternoon. And I congratulate all the students who have taken it to their heart in participating in all the quiz competitions, elocution, etc., essay writing, etc. And I congratulate all the winners and also the participants of these events. And I wish the event a very grand success, and the India will surge forward with the equal participation of the entire stakeholders. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request my friend Siyonti Sengupta from Department of Sociology to take over from here.
Thank you, Purnami. Now, I would like to call our chief guest, Rotarian Dr. Vanaja Vaidyanathan, the founder of Jyoti Eye Care Center, Pondicherry, to deliver the keynote address.
Warm greetings to all. Most respected Vice Chancellor of Pondicherry University, Professor Chandrika ma'am. I give my very special thanks to her for inviting me, for contacting me over phone several times and inviting me. Thank you, ma'am. Professor Chandramouli, Head of Department of History. Professor Mohanty, Dean, School of Social Sciences. Professor Aruna, all the respected dignitaries from various schools here, and my very dear students, especially the women students. Warm greetings once again. It gives me immense pleasure today to be here amidst you as you are celebrating this 75 years of Indian independence. So especially women's participation in independence. So as you all know, this would not have been possible if women are not stood shoulder to shoulder in the fight against the Britishers. And if you look at all those posters there, it was very nice of the departments to have held the competitions, especially the quiz competition, the poster competition. I wonder why they had invited me to talk on this particular topic, because usually I am invited to talk about eye care, eye donation, and sometimes, yes, women empowerment, but participation of women in Indian independence amidst history professors and history people is not my cup of tea, but still I would like to just point out a few very important characters who had stood in my heart as freedom fighters for our independence. First of all, we should salute our freedom fighters, especially the women fighters who had made this possible. So let us all give a good round of applause for all the patriots and people who sacrificed their lives for our country's independence. As you all know, the logo stands today, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, which means celebrating the energy elixir of independence. So it had been possible because several of them sacrificed their lives for the independence of our country. Today we feel proud to be part of this great nation. May the spirit of freedom rise and lead us to success and glory. That's what I would say. I would definitely like to mention about one very special character, Rani Velu Nachiyar. She's a Tamil queen of the Sivagangai region, presently the Tanjore district. She was the only one to fight and win the Britishers and rule the kingdom for 10 years after winning. So that's something, that's history she created. So she is really a great character. She lost her kingdom, she lost her husband, she stood alone in the woods and hills, and then she made an army with the men, local men around, men and women, and she fought the Britishers. And there was yet another woman character, one Queely, who sacrificed her life. She became a human bomb. She jumped over the British arms and ammunition, and she made it possible for Velu Nachiyar, Rani Velu Nachiyar, to win the Britishers. And then on, she ruled the place for 10 years, and following which the Britishers never were able to take over that region. So that was real history. There were several others who did this sort of feat. Rani Jhansi, who lost her life in the fight. There were people who made it not just with arms and ammunition, with their talk, with their skills, like Sarojini Naidu, the Nightingale of India. She was definitely a praiseworthy character. We had Kasturba Gandhi and Kamala Nehru were the women behind the most successful men. Also, Vijayalakshmi Pandit was the first governor of Maharashtra. Madam Kama, there was one picture there, I think, about Kama. She was the first woman to talk about women empowerment and equality. Some fought with weapons and ammunition, but others with their knowledge and with their speeches, their writing that inspired the people to fight for freedom. So today we stand free as a free nation, but we need to focus on lot of things, especially our economic development and scientific achievements. We have gone a long way, but miles to go before we sleep. We have miles to go before we sleep. So that's what I wanted to say. And as an eye doctor, this is eye donation fortnight. So happy Independence Day to all of you. We have actually finished the actual Independence Day celebration, and we are continuing with it. Likewise, we have our eye donation fortnight going on now. The last week of August and first week of September, 25th August to 8th September is eye donation fortnight, and 8th September is eye donation day. And during this period, it's our duty to create awareness about eye donation wherever we go, wherever we stand. That's our Jyoti Eye Bank is a recognized eye bank, recognized by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, New Delhi. We've been functioning for 15 years. Our Jyoti Eye Care Center has been dispensing eye care services for more than 25 years now, since 1998. And I would say eyes are the light of our life. Eyes are the windows which help us to see this wonderful world, mirrors of our magical mind. Most importantly, they are the light of our lovely life. We should take good care of our eyes as long as we live, and after death, we should donate our eyes and light up lives. So let the eyes live after us. So that's what I wanted to say. I don't know how much time I have.
Why one eye donated gives sight to
Yeah.
4 persons?
So about eye donation, I would just say some very important key points. Sir knows a lot of, about eye donation because earlier also we have had lot of discussions. Yeah, correct. The most important message is by one person's eye donation, 4 people, up to 4 people can get sight in special situations. One cornea can be divided into 2 parts, superficial part and deep part for endothelial problems, and they can be used up for 2 patients, which means one eye donor can help up to 4 people see. So that's a very new message. We were the first ones in Pondicherry to start the lamellar procedures, by which one cornea is divided into 2 and used up for 2 patients. And our eye bank, thank you, as a universal toll-free number 1919, which is the number for all the eye banks all over the country. So you call from landline 1919, the call comes to the eye bank in that region, and you can get any information regarding eye donation. Also you can call us for eye donation itself. So you can donate eyes only after death, but you can always pledge your eyes. We have family pledge forms now. We don't have individual pledge forms because it doesn't work at all. So as a family, father, mother with children should pledge their eyes. Only then it will work out, because it has to become a family tradition. Even if one member in the family stands against eye donation during the process, it's not going to happen. So that's why it's very important that as a family you should pledge to donate eyes. This portion has to be submitted, filled and submitted to the eye bank, and this portion has to be in your house. It has to be displayed in some very prominent place so that it keeps reminding us about our pledge, and also it serves as an instrument to motivate more people. When people walk into the house and ask about it, you can always take it as an opportunity to explain to them and talk about eye donation. So please, I request all of you to pledge to donate eyes, and it's not enough because we have lakhs and lakhs of people, 30 lakhs of people waiting for eyes, 10 lakh children waiting. In our own hospital, we have one register full of patients waiting, but we hardly get 1 lakh in a year. So when 30 lakhs are waiting, we have less than 1 lakh donations maximum in a year, and this is not enough. And there are 90 lakhs of people dying every year. Even if 1 out of 3 people donate eyes, people who are dying donate eyes, we will have more than enough, and we will, for our population we can even send eyes to other countries. But the state of affairs is we are borrowing eyes from countries like Sri Lanka, where the awareness is very good. There are, out of 10 people, at least 8 or 9 donate eyes, and they have cleared their waiting list, and they are sending eyes to countries like India and other places where the need is, where the awareness is less. So let us all join together and pledge to donate eyes as a family, and also let us all become ambassadors of eye donation. Today you have to go home and talk about eye donation to your family, to your neighbors, friends, wherever you have opportunity, and create awareness. And when a situation comes, when there is a death happening in the neighborhood, in your family circle, you can always come forward, you can talk to them, tell them about eye donation. Within 4 hours of death, if you motivate and call us, within few minutes we will be there. It takes hardly 10 to 15 minutes to take eyes. We are taking just the corneoscleral button. Now the whole eyeball is not removed. The advanced technology helps us to take out only the corneoscleral button, and we place a shell after removing. So there is absolutely no disfigurement after removal of eyes. So this message you have to tell everyone, because many a times people think that there's going to be a hollow created, there's going to be a disfigurement in the face after removal of eyes. So absolutely there's no disfigurement after removal of eyes. So that's the message I wanted to give. So if you all would come forward to pledge your eyes and also to motivate others and become ambassadors of eye donation, I request you all to give a good clap. Thank you so much. Thank you all for the wonderful opportunity given to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, madam, for your wonderful speech. Now, I would like to request Professor G. Chandrika to deliver some words.
This event is celebrating not only freedom but also development. And we know that after the end of the Second World War, many of the countries in Asia got independence one after another. And I am very proudly stating that India has achieved so much of development compared with other countries. We are far, far ahead of other countries in South Asia in the matter of development. And when it comes to development, we have two figures here who symbolize this development. Our Vice Chancellor, in his own right as a Croatian scientist, he is the epitome of development in that particular field of chemistry. And we have Dr. Vanaja, who is also an achiever in the field of ophthalmology and the development that has happened in the field of ophthalmology. So this is, with this spirit, we invited our Dr. Vanaja Vaidyanathan to be here. She symbolizes the development that India has achieved. And therefore, I request all of you to consider her message. And with these few words, I leave the mic to Shion.
Thank you, madam. Now, I would like to request Professor Gurmeet Singh, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Pondicherry University, to deliver the residential address.
I don't know, you said you are inviting everybody and to me you are requesting. I do not understand the reason for that. You have been inviting everybody to address. But for me, you said I am requesting the Vice Chancellor. Why not invite me? Yeah, no, don't worry. That's in a lighter way, and I am saying. Well, friends, Professor Chandrika, Professor Mohanty, and our chief guest, Dr. Vanja, whom I have known ever since I came to Pondicherry, because I think one of the first functions that I attended was in a Rotary Club. And I'm an old Rotarian since 1989, having held most of the positions, served in most of the committees. So I very closely know the functioning of Rotary, being myself there and still active Rotarian. Whenever I get a chance, I do go to these. And Professor Aruna and Professor Chandramouli, all who are there. When I got this message that this program is there, I had a very packed schedule, but then I decided I'll go there and attend. So thank you very much for inviting me over here. And let me also tell you that I'm really delighted after a very long time to see such a packed auditorium. With Corona in, we were in a very depressive mood. A few will be there, and we were becoming almost used to addressing empty chairs. And then with that online things coming in, probably people had forgotten the art of lecturing. So anyway, we have overcome that. We have got over it. And let's pray to Almighty that we never ever get into that kind of a scenario, and never ever anywhere in the world we get that kind of an unfortunate pandemic. Now I said I'm very delighted to be here. One, full auditorium after a very long time, packed auditorium, jam-packed auditorium rather. And secondly, the topic has been one where, of course, we are celebrating 75th years, completion of 75 years of independence, which has led us to a very mature kind of a nation now. And I don't have to dwell on that how well we have done it. It is for you to decide. Couple of things I'll tell you in 3-4 sentences. We have overcome our food shortage. We have enough food now. If anybody requires around our neighbors, we are the first ones who will always give it in the hours of need. We are the largest producer of milk in the world, which is mind-boggling. We have the largest graduates in the world, which is unthinkable. We have the cheapest education system in the world. And we have the fastest developing network, road network, railway network, air network in the world. And we are one of the fastest growing economies of the world. These few things, when I tell you, I think it's a very heartening feature of our country, and one needs to be feeling very, very proud of all this. There are many other things. If I say we have the most vibrant democracy in the world, I will not be far from the reality. We are. The kind of debates that we face, the kind of debates that we see, that we hear, all other things also taken with a pinch of salt. Throwing of mics, chairs, sign of a healthy democracy, let me tell you. You don't find elsewhere, but then we are the ones who will fight, who will argue, who will abuse, but then we'll sit and have a cup of tea together after half an hour. That's the hallmark of our democratic strength. Fine, very good. The topic given was women's contribution in our independence struggle. And Dr. Vanja rightly named a number of stalwarts. The list doesn't end here. I think probably had she Googled and had she talked to, the list would have been endless, and probably she would have gone on for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, endlessly. I will not do that. I will just say, whatever she has, whomsoever she has named, and whatever you know of, if you Google women's contribution in independence, women's role, probably you will get a figure 37%, 27%, 17%. I am not going to go by that. I am not going to agree to that. The women's contribution in our freedom struggle is close to 80%. Now you will not believe that. Whosoever has participated for independence struggles, I am talking about men folk, who was at the back of those? Do you think that one would have participated in the freedom struggle had his better half not allowed the person, or the better half had not supported him? It happened because there was a full support from somebody. Somebody does very well if you have the fullest support from your back, from your better half. So if you count that way, there are women folk who participated very actively in the forefront. There are leaders who did very well. Number of names have been given, but these plus what I am saying, if there are 10,000 men who participated, 10,000 women indirectly participated. So their contribution cannot be undermined, let me tell you. Those who are undermining, they are ignorant. They do not have right kind of knowledge, whether they like it or not. And I come from a religion, not religion, I come from a society, you can call it, where we worship women every morning. The prayer that we do, it is called Asa Ki War, Asa Di War in Punjabi. It is sung in Rag Asa. And a line is sung, I don't know how many of you will be understanding Punjabi here, but I will quote that sentence. Sokyo manda akhiye jis jamme rajan. Why belittle that person who has given birth to kings, warriors, you name, where have they emerged from? Women folk. So why not respect them? Why not worship them? This is the way we begin our day. Every day we sing this. So we are all duty bound to pay equivalent respect to women folk. In my own family, I was a kid, I was in 5th class or 4th class. My grandfather used to scold whenever we'll be all together, my uncles and the entire family. There's a tradition in our family. Any uncle, any auntie of ours who enters the room, we all stand up as a mark of respect. And we will be scolded very badly if some of us are sitting and we don't stand up. My grandfather will tell, don't you have any manners? Can't you get up? Of course, we have a lot of defense officers in our family. In defense, this is a tradition. Any woman who enters, whosoever is there, they'll get up. And if you are smoking, they'll just put it off immediately. Not like what you find in the civil society. If a woman is entering, people will take pride in blowing things in the same direction. Unfortunately, but that's what we have learned in our family, to pay respect to our women folk. We don't allow our women folk to touch our feet. You would have seen that. This is the respect we have learnt. And let me also tell you, in one of the seminars earlier, I had pointed out, you know, we are all equal. You should treat your partner on equal footing. When you go home, she is kind enough to give you a glass of water. She is kind enough to make you a cup of tea. She is good enough to take care of all other things when you are not there. Why should you not be reciprocating to your better half? What stops you? When you are gossiping, You know, you always tell your friends, okay, would you like to have tea? Yes, yes, we'll make a cup of tea. Why can't you go and make it yourself? Or vice versa, when your wife has friends, why can't you make a cup of tea and serve them? If she comes from outside, why can't you give a glass of water? Why can't you give a cup of tea? Nothing wrong in it. This is where we need to begin from our residences. We need to begin from our society. Reading these books, talking about women's contribution in independence, 75 years into our independence, how many of you have thought about it in your personal lives? Probably not even 50%. This is what you need to imbibe if you want to talk about contribution of women. That will be a real contribution. Women have done a great job to our society, to our independence, in bringing us up. I am here because there is some woman who has nurtured me, who has given me food, who has helped me in my studies. So why not respect those section of the society? Some of you might be laughing when I am telling you these things, but this is what we need to ponder over. This is what we need to start doing straight away. Why do you expect that when you go home, your mother will give you a glass of water or your sister will give you a glass of water? Why can't you take it yourself? How many of you have helped the ladies in your house? You expect your mother to drop somebody to the school. You expect them to learn driving. Why don't you do what you are capable of? There you say, well, I'm a male. I'm a husband. Why should I make a cup of tea? My wife will do it. Why do you expect all that? This is what we need to change. I got married, let me tell you, you might be, whether you like it or not. My brother was an army officer, he got married, and normally when families will sit down and discuss how many are going to be coming, what kind of a wedding, we said nothing. 5 of us will come, we'll go to a Gurdwara, do the wedding, then we'll give a reception. Invite as many as you want from the girl side. When I got married, same story. 5 will come, marriage will be performed, and then we'll give a reception. That's about it. What about clothes? There's nothing doing. We will take care of everybody. That is what is required. Now, how many of you are doing? I feel very saddened when I talk to my colleagues and my associate in and out, sir, so-and-so's daughter is getting married. They are organizing gold. I said, gold? Organizing gold? Where is the need? Sir, we have to give half a kg to that. This many to that. Why? And the girl is doctor, engineer, highly qualified. Where is the need for this? Who is going to take lead? The male folk. We will not accept anything. Why don't you tell bluntly to your parents? You are qualified, you are earning. Why can't you take a stand? Shut up. This is the way you should tell. I will not take anything, you like or not. If you don't like, don't get me married. That is the way, that is the approach you need to have it. This is what we all have adopted in our family. And if somebody doesn't follow, let me tell you, we push him out of the family. Okay? This is what is needed. I am telling you from the core of my heart, I have never thought about what am I going to speak when I go to that. I don't prepare. This is what came to my mind. I thought this is what I'll convey to all of you. Start. Charity begins from home. Start doing these things. Start respecting your woman. Don't leave it to the papers and academic discussions. You have to start. When you start, somebody will look at you. They will also follow. And this is what we do when we all take dinner. I am not making any bones about it. When everybody is through, I help my wife. We clear the table. We put it there. What is there? What is wrong in it? We even wash dishes. I do it in Gurdwara routinely. I take my house as a Gurdwara and do it. It's a way you look at life. So therefore, I'll urge that don't leave this only to papers. Women's contribution in independence, it has been much more than what you can probably imagine. This is one. If you do that, our society is really progressing very hard, very fast. We are doing very well. And we will do much better, much better if what I am saying, if you take your lady folks with you on an equivalent footing. There are societies where people are on equivalent footing. Britain is one, America is another one. Probably eastern side, if you look at it, Korea, Japan and all, they are a very progressive society, but they do not put women folk equivalent to them, unfortunately. Now they are improving. But in our country, we are shaped better than Americans and Britishers, because when we became independent, on the very first day, everybody was a voter. Whether somebody is illiterate, somebody is a lady, men, whatever. This never happened in England and America. They took 100 years to reach where we are. So, we should be proud of the fact that we come from a society which is shaped better than all other societies in the world. So, why should we look back? Why don't we carry it further? So that's what I would urge all my young friends who are sitting here in large numbers to follow whatever I said. Don't feel bad about helping your ladies. Don't think that, well, what my family is going to think about me. They normally use the word handpecker. Even if they think it, I proudly say I'm the biggest handpecker in the world. You enjoy yourself. I enjoy myself. That's about it. What is wrong in it? Nothing. So we need to do this. Then I was sitting here and they presented a wonderful book by Amartya Sen. You know that great Nobel laureate. It is the Argumentative Indians. So, well, we are very argumentative. There's no doubt about it. You have to just initiate something and we get into endless argument, like the way I read women's contribution, and I have started on a very different note, which probably you would not have imagined that I'll be starting on that. I'll probably be naming the way Madam did X, Y, Z. Argumentative Indian, yes, we are argumentative, and that is the reason that we are the best parliament, best vibrant democracy in the world. Couple of things come to my mind. The session was on, and one day, one of our young prime ministers, during the parliamentary debate, he said, I can't, there was a heated debate on, he says, I can't answer every dog that barks. And there was an uproar in the parliament. People started making noise. No, he has to apologize. He's called us dogs, this, that. And one parliamentarian by the name Pilu Modi, Google, you'll find he was one of the best parliamentarians we have had. Very jovial, very humorous. He stood up. He says, friends, sit down, sit down. He's called us dogs. Yes, we are dogs. It's a democratic society. He's called us dogs. We accept we are dogs. But all others from the other party, they are the pillars of democracy. They are the pillars of this parliament. And do you know how dogs treat the pillars? So, there was a stunned silence in the parliament. Prime Minister realized what has he uttered and what has he got back. So, no argument after that. Everybody started laughing the way you have laughed. They started enjoying. This is the strength of the parliamentarians. There was a heated debate going on between a group of Russians and Americans. And one American said, look, our country is so great, I can go to my President Reagan and tell him whatever I feel like. Okay, what will you tell? Tomorrow I'll tell him, look, Mr. Reagan, I don't like the way you run your country, the way you run our country. He said, well, it's not a very difficult thing. Tomorrow I'll go to Putin and I'll tell him, Mr. Putin, I don't like the way Reagan runs this country. I can also tell the same thing. Okay, so this is the beauty of the arguments, and this book which was given to me, Argumentative Indians, will strengthen my resolve in the power of arguments that we indulge in, and that's one of the reasons I never discourage anybody from getting into arguments. You know, when we have academic council meetings, EC meetings, there are arguments, but then in between, when things become unpleasant or at a level when it starts to boil, that is where I throw one of these lighter ones and people cool down. So I thought I'll end also with this so that you don't take that this fellow came and I used to sleep a lot. He's made my life hell. Now I'll have to get up early, maybe make a cup of tea for my mother So he spoiled my lifestyle. I want you to be happy. I want you to be cheerful. I want you to be contributing to your society by treating your female partners in your family, in your society, wherever you are, on equal footings. That's a message. If you can take it from now, you will find that this society will be what we are trying to make it. And when we celebrate our 100th year of independence, I think we'll be far ahead of the world. We are, let me tell you, chip making, there is a shortage of chips. We have set up this venture. In the next 5 years, we will be equivalent to the best in the world, and we'll have no shortage. Probably we'll be supplying the chips to many other countries. This is where we are progressing, but we need to work a little on this. I know I've taken a little more time, but then I thought something which has come to my heart, I must convey it to you. So I wish you all the very best. I'm glad, very happy that you have chosen this day to celebrate our 75th independence year. Somebody said when he was giving the introductory remark, I'm not remembering who said that, we in our department, Madam Chandrika has 2 daughters, Venugopal Reddy has 2 daughters. And I said, don't announce to the world if you want daughters, join Pondicherry University. It's not so. Okay? We are all on equal fronts, and we all respect one another. Follow that message. You will find if you do that, somebody somewhere overviews your feelings, your thinking, your doings, and you get blessed. So let's all be blessed by adopting whatever I said. Thank you very much for.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful words. I would like to summarize what sir said in a few sentences. So he spoke how India has grown as a nation by overcoming the food shortage. There has been considerable improvement in the education system, development of network, and development of India's economy. He has also mentioned about the women folk who participated in the forefront, and the most important thing that he has pointed out is about gender equality at grassroots level. And by this he means how we should bring about gender equality in our households. With this, I would move on and would like to call Dr. Kalai Salvi ma'am, the coordinator of events of SPARK.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, revered chief guests, respected dignitaries, faculties of various departments, and dear students. It's my pleasure to present a brief report and to announce the achievers of various competitions. See, to mark the 75 years of India's independence and to celebrate its history, significance, and importance, the Center for Women's Studies, Pondicherry University, in collaboration with Department of History and Department of Sociology, organized a series of programs to honor and remember the valiant freedom fighters in general and in particular the women freedom fighters, to strengthen the vision of India and to continue the pride. 3-day-long celebrations were held from 10th to 12th. To highlight the celebration was a focus on the great women whose names are written in the annals of history for their dedication and devotion in the freedom struggle and development of India. And students from various departments, around 300 students of Pondicherry University, participated enthusiastically. The topic for the essay writing was on India from freedom to development, and the competition was held on 10th of August at 2 p.m. in the Center for Women's Studies. The next day, the topic for quiz was on women in the freedom movement. It was organized at Umisha Conference Hall between 2:32 and 4:30 p.m. Around more than 50 students from various departments participated in quiz competition. Each group had 3 members, and 17 groups participated in the preliminary round. 5 teams were shortlisted for the final under the guidance of our quiz master, the expert Dr. Subhashri from Bharatidasan Women's College. A poster competition was held on 12th August in the Department of History. between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. The theme is Women in Salt Satyagraha. And you can see number of posters here. That posters were prepared by women studies students just to make this place more vibrant and just to make you to know more information on the women freedom fighters. The singing competition on patriotic songs was held on 12th between 2:30 and 3:30 in the Department of Sociology. So a panel of judges from various departments, Dr. Dhanalakshmi from Tamil department, Dr. Clement, Dean Humanities, Dr. Raja Ravi Verma, and Dr. Murugavel from Performing Arts, they assess the performance of the students, and a team of volunteers from Women's Studies, History, and Sociology, they enthusiastically participated in organizing the events, and as a team, we enjoy the process thoroughly. See, why should we organize extracurricular activities, each and every department? And the 75th celebrations of our independence, it has its own purpose at the institutional level. Extracurricular activities are a strategy to increase positive social behavior, to develop social skills and enhance the social support system. At the individual level, participation in extracurricular activities is a great way to focus on your strengths and passion. It's an opportunity to build your professional skills, expand your social circle, and allow you to pursue your interests with more conviction. It builds your management skills and self-esteem. See, self-esteem is one of the greatest ability that helps you to succeed in life. And participation, of course, it provides you the power of resilience. So extracurricular activities, we plan it as a strategy to increase the positive social behavior. Hence, we plan to organize a greater number of programs in the future. And don't stress about winning or losing. Just enjoy every bit of it. Now, we are glad to announce the achievers of various competitions. And the participants are also having participatory certificates. And may I call upon the winners of different competitions. And I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor to distribute the prizes.
I'll request Dr. Vanja to do the honor. I was talking about her. She's a Rotarian of a long standing. And whatever number has been given in terms of the surgeries which she has carried out and all, that's one side of it. She and her husband, they are very big philanthropists in their attitude. They have been helping this society a great deal. So she would do the honor. And one last thing, some of the persons at the back probably were not taking my analysis very seriously. So for them, I'll add one more sentence as an exercise for them to Google it around. Any country where women are not respected, they have remained backwards. They are nowhere near any progressive society. Pakistan, Afghanistan, all African continent, barring South Africa, to some extent Botswana, they have progressed. Kenya has started doing this of late. They are coming up very fast. Rest all, the rest less said the better. Other analysis, Fiji, there are 4 Fijis. There are 4 Guineas in the world. Papua New Guinea is one. Look at their condition. There is 1 Guinea where women is respected a lot, near Australia. Rest 3 Guineas are, whatever I'm saying, you can check. So whatever I said, confirm this and start following what I said. Thank you.
Yeah, and the winners of essay competitions in Tamil, please come as a team. In Tamil, K. Shanmugapriya, the first prize, and M. Sublakshmi, second prize, and the third one, Manogravatini from Department of Philosophy. You please come to this. First prize, huh? Shanmugapriya, please collect your prize and memento. But certificate also. And Sublakshmi, please. Manoharavatini. And Vinayak Sai, MA History, and English essay. Satyaban Rao, MA Economics, second prize in essay competition. And Naima Siraj, Women's Studies, the third prize goes to Naima Siraj. And the exciting event, quiz. The first prize goes to Political Science and International Relations team, Sanjay Ayam and Vishnu Kumar and Amisha Jai. Department of Political Science and International Relations. And the second prize goes to Department of History, Vinayak Sai, Lajna Lakshman, Subram Pataji. Department of History. And the third prize goes to Master of Social Work students, MSW students. Yes, Jodis, Muhammad, and Saurabh Kumar. And the singing competition, it's an only patriotic songs. Labanya Chaudhary, first prize goes to Politics and International Relations Department. And the second prize goes to Puvaja from Mathematics. Labanya, huh? Two of them got third prizes in the singing competition, Vinayak Sai of History and Shivniti of Sociology. Please come together. And the next competition, poster making, Rajashri Dau from Department of History, Sainika Paratwaj of Center for Women's Studies, and Rania Rizwan of MA Philosophy. We are glad, and as a token of respect, we call our judges of various programs to come to the stage and receive a token of love. We want to give a simple memento. Dr. Dhanalakshmi from Department of Tamil. Dr. Subhashri, our quiz master. For essay competition, she helps us to assess the students. And Dr. Subhashri, you are very much popular with ma'am. So such an enthusiastic participation under her guidance. And may I call upon Dr. Raja Ravi Verma and Dr. Murugavel. They just mesmerize the audience by their singing. And Dr. Sublakshmi for helping us to organize the program in a more successful way. She's not there. Now I call upon all the volunteers to come to the stage. Volunteers. Sir, actually I want to bring it to a notice. It's all because of the student volunteers, and I want them to be honored in our presence. So Vinayak Sai and Rajashri Dawu from Department of History, and Siyotini Sengupta and Kumar Anupam from Department of Sociology, and Darshana Patachaji, Baurnami Ashna Anifor and Sanakya Bharatwaj from Center for Women's Studies. And thank you, students. It's all because of you. The success of the program lies in our hands. And all your other participants of different competitions, please come and collect your certificates at the Center for Women's Studies. And thank you so much for your enthusiastic participation. And keep involved yourself in extracurricular activities, which is good for the institution and it's good for you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, I would like to invite Lavanya from Department of Politics and International Relations.
Good evening, everyone. So I'll be singing the song which I had sung on the day of the competition. So it's actually a tribute to the freedom fighters, and especially because I am from Bengal, I paid a tribute to Khudiram Bose, who was one of the youngest martyrs who fought for the freedom for India. So I'll be starting off my songs. আমি হাসি হাসি পূর্ব ভাসি দেখবে ভারতবাসী আমি হাসি হাসি পূর্ব ভাসি দেখবে ভারতবাসী একবার বিদায় দে মা ঘুরে আসি একবার বিদায় দে মা ঘুরে আসি হাতে যদি থাকতো ছোরা তোর খুদি কি পড়তো ধরা রক্ত মাংস এক করিতাম দেখতো জগৎবাসী একবার বিদায় দে মা ঘুরে আসি কলের বোমা তৈরি করে দাঁড়িয়েছিলাম রাস্তার ধারে মা বড় লাটকে মারতে গিয়ে মারলাম আরেক ইংল্যান্ডবাসী একবার বিদায় দে মা ঘুরে আসি শনিবার বেলা 10টার পরে জর্জ কোটেতে লোক না ধরে মা হলো অভিরামের দীপ চালান আর ক্ষুদিরামের ফাঁসি একবার বিদায় দে মা ঘুরে আসি একবার বিদায় দে মা ঘুরে আসি তুমি সকল সহায় সকল মহা মাতার মাতা ও আমার দেশের মাটি তোমার পরে ঠেকাই মাথা ও আমার দেশের মাটি তোমার পরে ঠেকাই মাথা তোমাতে বিশ্বময়ী তোমাতে বিশ্বমায়ের আঁচল পাতা ও আমার দেশের মাটি তোমার পরে ঠেকাই মাথা ও মা অনেক তোমার খেয়েছি গো অনেক নিয়েছি মা তবু জানি নে যে কে বা তোমায় দিয়েছি মা আমার জন্ম पंडिचर